Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Rom-Com Love podcast. We are so thrilled and excited to have Rhiannon Fish join us today. Welcome, Rhiannon.
Stop. I'm obsessed with you both. You're my new favorite people. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh,
Gosh, well, we're
so
honored.
fun.
We've been waiting for quite a long time, we know you've been busy and which is a fantastic problem to have,
Yes,
but
yes.
we've been long fans, so we're so excited to have
Yay,
this
that's
girl
so
chat.
nice. Oh, thank you.
So excited. We just adore you already.
You.
Well, let's just jump right in, Rhiannon. So, you have a movie that is coming out worldwide January 27th. He Loves Me Not, which you got to film in Australia, or it was filmed and released in Australia
Yeah.
first.
Hmm.
Just share about that movie and your character Holiday and her journey.
Thank you for asking. This is a very special project to me. We have a little bit more money in the Hallmark world. Still, it's not like big time budget, but this one was like a very, very small budget. And it just sort of feels like this little movie that could. And I feel very, very proud to be a part of it. I was born in Canada and grew up in Australia. So anytime I get to come back to Australia to work, I feel very privileged. And I'm very excited for the world, not only to see this story, but to see this very special part of Australia. It is absolutely magical. It's this very small island called Gari. And it really is, there's just something magical about it. And I feel that we really captured that in the storytelling. The male lead in that movie is one of my ex-boyfriends. So it was like a very challenging in some ways, but wonderful in other ways, to go to work and be like, okay, gonna make out with my ex-boyfriend today. But if you do watch it, I hope people do, you will really see we dated when we were like 19, 20 years old. So to come back as adults and sort of on screen re-fall in love with each other again, it was a really, really special experience.
Oh my goodness.
I can honestly say I've never heard that story before.
It was weird.
Oh,
Yeah, it was super weird.
Wonder how often that happens in Hollywood.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh my gosh. So,
Oh,
do you know where because you said it's being
yeah.
released worldwide. So, is it going to be on Prime, do you know, or do you know where
It's
people will be able to
going,
find it?
it's such a massive list because it's different everywhere. I know it's going
Okay.
to YouTube, Google Play. I think it's on Tubi as well, all these different platforms. So just wherever you are, if you were to Google it, it should come up with the easiest place
Mm,
for you to watch it as of the 27th of January.
okay. So, it was released then September of 2024.
Yes. We
So,
did like a small,
okay.
it
So,
was a limited release just in Australia. Because that's the thing, like I said, the budget was so
mm,
small that we did sort of like a trial run here in Australia. It did well enough that it's now been picked up, hoping to do a theatrical
mm.
release throughout Australia. Depending on people, if people like it, hopefully we'll continue to see it get churned out here in Australia as well.
yes. Oh,
Awesome.
so exciting.
So for
Thank
those who really don't know Holiday's story, from the description, it sounds like she's an inspiring actress then
you.
who is she's looking to fund her schooling by
Yeah.
participating in a reality love story.
Yes, that's perfect.
Oh,
You nailed it.
okay.
That's
Yeah.
literally what it is. Yes. And I do think that that's a somewhat topical discussion. I personally love reality TV, but I know there are a lot of people that do feel that it is taking away jobs from actors or, productions. There is a lot of money that goes into reality TV that is maybe perhaps coming out of the pocket of scripted television.
Mm.
So I understood Holiday's sort of character arc and conflict where she was like, okay, in order to be the actor I want to be, I have to do this show and just use it to get on the right path, which I know I've personally done. I've taken jobs that maybe I didn't fully believe in, but it's a tough industry and you got to do whatever you can to try and get through that door, feels
Hmm.
like. Yeah.
Oh, for sure. Well, you had a lot of physical comedy in this one just from that little preview, and
Yeah.
huge fan. Well, obviously with the name Rom-Com Love, we are thrilled to see that kind of physical rom-com 90s feel back. And it's been,
Yes.
I would say since 2020, it seems like they've been slowly coming back. They're more into the theatrical releases finally again. So
Mhm.
yay.
Mhm.
Um
Love.
so obviously because we've seen you on screen so much and watched so many of your interviews, we know that that's who you are naturally, that you've definitely
Yes.
got a gift for that. So
Thank you.
besides seeing yourself shine, who has been like an inspiration in that rom-com world for you?
Whoa, first of all, your setup for that question, fantastic, because I totally agree with you. They keep saying it's like the year of the rom-com, and I feel like they've been saying that for many years now in
Mm-hmm.
succession. And I also do, to circle back to Hallmark, I love when Hallmark leans into the comedy. And I feel like it's something, to speak very candidly, that they're still a little bit afraid of. Like I talk with
Mm-hmm.
a lot of directors and some of the higher ups at Hallmark, and there is this reluctance to lean into comedy sometimes. But then whenever I talk to audience members, they're like, that's what we love. Please
Mm-hmm.
give us more of that.
Mhm.
So I love when Hallmark feels confident enough to do that. I hope they continue to do so. Because to me too, that's what's really funny. I
Mm-hmm.
love like, and it's so. I watched the movie with my mom and my dad just the other day. He Loves Me Not, and my mom was dying laughing just when the male actor gets hit in the balls with the tennis ball. Like that is just timeless comedy. Like,
Exactly.
Yes. That's
so yeah, I love all that stuff, and I really hope we continue to do that with Hallmark and push those boundaries a little bit more.
Yeah, well, and that was when they announced the Hallmark Plus. That was the thing that kept talking about the home of the rom-coms. And it took me a second because I was like, because I had started this page as a trivia page.
Oh,
And then I would have actors on occasionally to come and play of their movies. And the biggest thing that I got that I learned too is everybody's like,
yeah.
do you know how often our movies change our titles, maybe sometimes
Oh
who our
yeah.
characters are? So there was that
Yep.
fear. And I was kind
Yep.
of like, okay. So, and then Brennan graciously this last year, once we were watching, you asked when we were off camera how we had met. We met through When Calls the Heart. And we taped ourselves. We've been watching it together for probably a good solid year, like this last season. But one day we just decided to randomly tape ourselves because we're also the Hallmark After Dark girlies.
Love that. Love that.
And we know we're not watching Bridgerton, but we also believe you can
Oh
push
yeah.
the boundaries a little bit.
Oh, I have found my people. Yes, that's what I'm here to do.
So when we did that, we're kind of like, oh well, let's kind of like take our show on the road, aka podcast. And
Yeah.
then that was kind of how this was born. But when I was kind of like when the Hallmark Plus got announced, I was like, oh, I'm on the right track. And then they haven't thankfully
Mhm.
gone back all the way, but all of a sudden
Mhm.
rom-com, the wording
Mhm.
wasn't being used again. But then we have
Yep.
our January movies that are officially rom-coms. And I'm like,
Yes.
all right, I think we're going in the right direction now.
I do. I agree. And I'm so glad to hear you say that. And you should, I'm so glad both of you two are using your platform to speak up about what you want to see. Because I
Mm-hmm.
do believe that they're listening. And I do think sometimes they just the higher ups, they have so much information and it's a lot of pressure. And so I really do think that obviously the audience is the most important. And so it's fantastic that you guys are saying, hey, like you said you were going to give us this and maybe it's looking different. Yeah, I just really appreciate what you guys are doing. I think it's important.
Oh, thank you.
good.
So back to the comedy. Who is your inspiration?
Comedy inspiration. I'm trying to think. Oh, Chris Russell's really funny. I
Okay.
did a Costa Rican romance with him, and
Mm-hmm.
he is. If you ever have you spoken to him before?
Yes, we
Yeah.
have. Yeah.
Was
Mhm.
he funny?
Yes. Oh yeah.
Was.
Yeah,
He's
Yes.
we
yeah.
were and
He's
we were
just
not anticipating it. So you're right.
right.
It's an
Mhm.
unexpected.
Right. And it's because you're like, how do you look like that? And you're also really funny. Like something's not adding up. Like you must be a bad person. And he's not. He's also really lovely. So it's bizarre. But yeah, he's somebody in that whole Hallmark world that I do find very inspiring in the fact that he's really, really funny.
Mhm.
Mm.
He is. My boyfriend and I watched that movie for the first time this past weekend, Rhiannon, because
Cute.
because well, Catherine and I and my boyfriend, because he's a fan
Yep.
too. We were also excited to just have you on the podcast. And so we're going through
Oh,
Hallmark Plus, and I was thinking, we got to watch more of her movies. I got to catch up.
so
And
sweet.
I
So sweet.
will speak a little bit more about it later, but I loved Costa Rican Wedding
Me
so
too.
much.
Thank you.
And it was so funny. You two together,
Thank
like we
you.
were just laughing. So it
Thank
was so
you. That's
fun.
so lovely. And you just never know what people are going to like and what they're not going to like. That one didn't get, people didn't like that one so much. And then I made the mistake of reading on Reddit, which is fine. I really want people to say their opinions.
Mm.
But on Reddit, people really slammed me and that character. They were like, nobody is that stupid. And I thought, like, I don't think it was that stupid. Like, she had the rings with her because she was worried about losing them and then lost them. Like, have the people that are watching this never lost anything of value? So I did. I know these movies are a little bit about suspending disbelief, but I believed it.
It was so believable, I think,
Oh, thank you.
because I'm very
Thank you.
much that kind of person where I misplace
Same.
things all the time. And I love
Same.
monkeys. So the
I
monkeys
love
were
the
adorable.
monkeys. They were so cute.
And
Yes.
just quick shout out that scene where you're like stepping on Chris, like trying to
Oh, yeah.
that's just
We
one of
had so
many
much
moments.
fun.
But
Thank you. I really genuinely appreciate that. Yeah, it's not one that people mention a lot. So thank you, Brennan. That really means a lot. Thank you.
absolutely, everyone go watch it, please.
Thank
It's
you. Please. Thank you.
Well, we said that we were chatting before you came on, we were chatting about how, like everybody is human. And you guys just have
Oh,
jobs
yeah.
that we're so interested to learn about, which is why you get asked a gazillion of the same questions, probably. But the fact that people forget that you're humans also reading this, and that a
Oh, I
lot of
know.
that is not in
Yeah.
your control,
Oh, totally.
mind-boggling to
Thank
me.
you. Thank you so much. Yeah, it can be really brutal, and you do have to learn not to read it.
Hmm.
Yeah, there was one, there's another Reddit thread that was just saying, like, and they can be so unkind too about the way that you look. And I think that the people writing it lose the concept of, or the idea that, like, that person that you're writing about could read that. And it's just mean. It's
Hmm.
that whole thing of that, like, if you wouldn't say it to somebody's face, why would you get on your computer and write it? And yeah, people, and it shocks me because this is Hallmark. And so, yes, of
Hmm.
course, the majority are so kind and so lovely. But there's still people that come on there that are just like, you can go. Like, I don't know if
Yeah.
this is not the vibe here at Hallmark.
No,
right.
nobody's making you watch these. It's kind of always
No.
like when, for me, we all have days at our jobs where you're like, you're not a complete fan of it, but
Yes.
99% of it, for the people who are so uncomfortable,
Yeah.
really, a lot of them, are you being forced to do that one? Or could you go
No.
do, like, even if it was, I worked at Target and I had the best
Exactly.
time working at Target, kind of
Yeah,
a thing.
exactly. Exactly. Yes, well
Yeah.
said.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, that's a whole nother podcast.
Sorry. Yeah, sorry.
Oh,
Yeah,
no, 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 that's okay. I
Not at
just think it's,
all.
I think that's the first thing that's forgotten, especially in today's
I
world.
agree.
And
Mhm.
honestly, and I know that we'll talk about this in a little bit, but you had asked us before also if we had been to the Hallmark Christmas
Yeah.
experience. And that's, yes, we have. We've gone both years.
Yes.
And
What
yeah,
week did you go?
we went week 3 both years.
I
I
get it though. It
know.
makes sense. It makes sense. I'll try. Yeah, I get it. No, no disrespect.
No, well, I will say this year, okay, I'm jumping ahead. We're just going to talk about it. This year, I really did love the fact that we had Erin Cahill, that we had Sarah Drew. Last year, we were very blessed with Andy McDowell and Chyler Lee
Yes.
because, of course, talking about the 2 series. But
Yeah.
there was a different element of having the other ones who aren't in that kind of world bring
Yeah.
out different personalities from the When Calls the Heart cast.
Oh,
And it was so
fascinating.
fun to watch in like in the improv and stuff.
Isn't that awesome? Yeah, I'm dying to meet Sarah Drew. Have either of you watched Grey's Anatomy?
Yes.
I
April? Yep.
loved, she was amazing in Grey's Anatomy. I like honestly, I've thought to myself so many times, What will I say when I meet her? Because I'm such a huge fan that I think I have to tell her that, like, you are, because I find her inspiring. She's a
Hmm.
brilliant actress. And I think Hallmark is so lucky to have her. And anything I've ever seen, she seems like such a wonderful human being, too. So, yeah, I think she's a great get for Hallmark. I'm very happy to see her on the network.
And she's a huge fan of the Hallmark After Dark. So there's your in.
Yes.
Love! Great! Amazing.
Yes.
So here, so for our picture setup, because as you know, I don't know if your guys' weekend, but really, especially when you're going there, let's be honest, the majority on weekend three are Hardys, and
Of
so
course, yeah.
they've got their groups that they want to stand next to, and
Yeah.
so for us, Kevin McGarry,
Yeah.
I help, and you know our friends Suspenders Unbuttoned, Julie and
Of course,
Sarah.
I love those
Yes,
girlies. They're so
Yes.
nice.
they are so nice. And so I used to do before this whole world had to go to the back end with like pre-taping, they used to do
Yeah.
theirs live and I used to be their tech person in the back.
Oh, fantastic.
And so yeah, so we were chatting about so I obviously had met Kevin through that.
Yeah.
And then so literally this is me when it was my turn. I was like, I'm gonna take my Mountie and then I'm gonna take my Minnesotan because we had Ben.
Yes.
And
Cute.
he hadn't met me yet, and I was just like, oh, that was kind of probably not the right way to introduce myself. But I'm like, come
I
on
think
down,
it's the
Beck.
perfect way. Oh, and isn't Ben lovely?
He's
So
You mean Ben
lovely.
Rosenbaum, right?
yes. And
Yes,
he's also
absolutely.
so funny. Oh my
He's
goodness.
so funny. He's
Yes.
so funny. I didn't, he met really, yeah, when we worked together on the Christmas Cup, he surprised me, sort of like Chris Russell, where I was like, hang on, whoa, you're really funny.
Hmm.
Yeah, he's just, and such another really lovely human being. I adore Ben Rosenbaum, such a great guy.
Mm.
Yes, no, he's so glad to see him, and the fact that
Yes.
you got to be his first leading lady in
Isn't
his
he?
first
Yeah.
role like
What a
that. Oh,
pleasure.
perfect
Yeah.
fit.
Yeah.
So
Thank you.
yeah, I literally turned around to Sarah and Peter and I said, I go, and the gazebo scene in Mistletoe Murders. Let's keep it up. And the Hallmark After Dark girlies on fan. And they're like, oh, thank you.
Oh, that's so nice. I
So
love that.
when you meet her, talk about the
I
gazebo and
will.
Hallmark After Dark, and
I
you're in.
will. Great. Thank you.
Not
Thank
that
you
you
so
wouldn't be
much.
anyways, but
No,
she is
that's good.
lovely.
That's good. Thank you.
Oh, hopefully
And
you guys
I was
will
going to say
see.
quickly by the end, Kevin kept asking the entire weekend, what happened in that gazebo? Because
Don't worry
everybody
about it,
brought
Kevin.
it
Yeah.
up.
That's so funny.
Good. Well, hopefully, Rhiannon, maybe you and Sarah will get to work together someday.
Yes.
Well, I would die. Can you imagine if it was like me, Sarah, and Hunter King, or like me, Sarah,
Oh,
and oh, I love Jessie Schramm now too. I fell in love with
Hmm.
her. There's
oh,
just so
love
many
her.
great girlies, and I feel like there's not like we do like the groomsmen and then like the wise men. Like I would really love to see like three girlies do like a three part. And I know it exists, but I
Hmm.
would really love to be a part of one of those.
Let's do it. Let's bring it back because
Let's,
they really haven't
yes,
done one since the wedding veil. So we
Right.
right.
absolutely need
Hmm.
another one.
Yes. Yeah, I think it would be great. I would love that. Yes, yes.
So are you into writing at all?
No,
No.
I wish I was because I think that that helps. Like, I just don't really have anything I want to, I don't have a story I want to tell. Not yet. I think it will
Mm.
come to me. Still, my favorite place right now is where I am in the whole production line. But I
Hmm.
think it's very inspiring to see people go on to produce or direct or write. And Hallmark provides such a safe platform to encourage actors to do all of it, which I think is wonderful.
Oh yeah, no, 1000%. And I like to say that we're really good idea makers or
Love
idea
that.
givers.
That's
That's what we
great.
are.
That's great.
We're always like, check that one off, check, check. So we'll work on it. And we actually asked Taylor, we had Taylor Cole on when her and Jacqueline Collier when they had their double
Lovely.
scoop because they really
Oh,
talked
awesome.
because they really talked about the uniqueness of
Yeah.
that friendship that really for the two of them they felt it was something that they hadn't really had in place and to interview
Yeah.
two best friends in a movie for as being that kind of
Yes.
interview. And so you are not the only one who is wanting
Right?
that, and so the more you
Great.
say it out there, I think the more
I
that we're going to see
agree.
it.
It does work like that. Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yay.
Yay.
Well, Rhiannon, kind of jumping ahead since we were talking about the Christmas Cup and Ben
Yeah.
Wiesendam. We adored this movie.
Oh,
Mm-hmm.
thank
We
you.
thought it was a top this year in the countdown to
Thank
Christmas.
you.
So fresh, and it just was a great story. I think the
Thank
two of
you.
you had amazing chemistry. So
Hmm.
will you just share a bit about that film? And Ben has obviously been part of One Calls the Heart for many
Of
years.
course.
But
Yes.
did you do anything to kind of give him any tips or tricks of coming from a series to a movie and his first leading role?
Oh God, that's a lovely question. And he did come into it in a very lovely way where he felt so willing to learn. And he was the first to put his hand up and be like, I haven't done this before. And I really, really respected that. Um, he came into with so many wonderful ideas. I'll speak very candidly. Often the men can take a back seat, and that's okay. That's okay. You just do whatever you're comfortable with. Tyler is, of course, someone that's not like that. Tyler's like, I'm gonna, lead this ship, and I love that. And Ben
Mm-hmm.
sort of did a similar thing where he was like constantly looking at each and every scene, even the ones that he wasn't in, and looking at how it could be improved instead of just, sitting back, taking the paycheck and having the movie be whatever it was. Much like my movie with Tyler, it would have been a very different movie had Ben not put the amount of work in that he did. Any success that that movie saw, really, I mean it, is a credit to the amount of work that Ben put in behind the scenes.
Mm.
And
Oh,
he's so nice too. He's just such a nice guy. Really, I don't have a bad word to say about him. Yeah, he's awesome.
Well, I'm going to say from just the 2 second, well, not the 2 seconds, we did have a whole
Right.
weekend with them,
Yeah.
but watching, you can tell like any time that there was a volunteer for like
Mm.
like when
Yeah.
somebody's like, okay, so now we're going to have a leading man, everybody would push Ben.
Oh, to
Well, I mean, I'm not,
Ben.
I'm not saying that he wasn't volunteering. I think
No,
after
but
a
I
while, he's like,
get it. That's perfect.
doesn't
Yes.
anybody else want a choice? And I looked at it for me twofold, that's
Yeah.
who his personality is, and you can
Yeah.
tell, I mean, from 100% from the way that he was taking care of Erin as she's
Oh,
pregnant
bless. Yeah,
to, they're
exactly.
adorable together.
Yes.
But when watching, like the other thing too is everybody is so excited for him to have his moment to
I
shine, that
know.
they're
I know.
pushing that, like
Yeah.
you get out there so that everybody can see what
I
you can do.
know. I know. It's long overdue. And it speaks to what a good person he is to see how, well, it even speaks to what a good person Ben is that everybody showed up on our set. Like a lot of
Mm-hmm.
those people from When Calls the Heart, they could have said, no, I'll pass, or I'm busy, or whatever. But every single person that was given asked, will you be a part of this, said yes. And I truly believe that Ben was a big reason why they said yes.
oh,
Mm. Oh,
amazing.
1000. I would agree with you on that.
Yeah.
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 Absolutely. Well, what was it like to meet kind of a big cast of When Calls the Heart, Rhiannon? And um, obviously, we are huge fans of the show, and it'd be great to see you on the show
I would love
sometime.
to. So I was nervous because you never know, too. That show's been going for so long. I didn't know if they would feel like a clique and that I
Hmm.
would sort of feel on the outskirts. It couldn't have been less like that. And then I also didn't know because the show's been running for so long, sometimes people can be a little bit jaded and they can, show up and be complaining about their 17 season. What, how many is it? 15,
They're
17?
on 13.
13. Sorry,
Yeah.
sorry.
Oh no, no, they're
You
gonna go
never
with
Yeah,
they'll take
oh, for
your
sure.
17.
Yeah, exactly. But every one of them spoke of that show so highly. They were so
Hmm.
grateful, it's so just in love with the show that they were creating. And that to me, I have nothing but respect for that. Natasha in particular, I just fell in love with her. Such a gorgeous human being, very talented actor. And to listen to how she spoke about the show and how grateful she is for it was just something that you don't often see a lot. And I was very just
Hmm.
in awe of how all of them spoke of that show.
Oh, amazing. Well, you fit right in, girl. You did.
Thank
So if
you.
you
Thank you.
could pick a character, if you were to guest star, like knowing what you know about the show, maybe from their words of, like, would you have a character that you'd like? We talked with Jennifer Aspen, and she has known Pascal and Kevin from doing
Wow.
a few movies with them.
Yeah.
And so she wants to come in, and was it a candy, like cotton candy maker or something like that? Like
Something like
she's
that.
just like,
Yeah.
you know what, I'm going to come in and invent something. So if you had a choice, who would you want to come in
I'll
as?
tell you guys a secret. I've never spoken about this before publicly. So you know how they're doing the spin-off
Mm-hmm.
19 or 1874. I can't
74.
remember. I
Yep.
always get the numbers confused. It got down to me and one other girl for the not for the lead, but for the
Okay.
the next female down. I can't remember the character's name. And I fought and fought and fought for that role. They ended up going younger, and that's totally fine. And I completely respect that that's the story that they want to tell. But in going through that audition process and sort of working, I got quite close with with the producer of the show and the writer. And I really hope that in time we'll find something for me, whichever show it may be on. Um, because it doesn't matter the role, really. I really mean that. I would just love the opportunity to step into that world and get to be a
Mm-hmm.
part of it in any capacity.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
That's well, is it Alfonso as the runner?
Alfonso, yeah,
Okay.
correct.
Yeah.
Love Alfonso.
Yeah.
Yes.
He's such a nice guy too. He's really, really lovely. I had lunch
Yeah.
with him, and again, you never know. This is the guy that's like the creator of Hallmark's biggest series. He could have shown up to lunch and been like a diva. Wasn't at all. He's just really friendly, lovely human being.
Yeah, no, it's a going up to HFR, you can tell just how
Yeah,
much that community from the,
right.
not the even the shout out that the actors constantly give to the
Right.
hair and makeup people of helping them
Oh, I
pick out a
know.
barrette. I
Yeah,
mean, it
bless.
is a
Mhm.
team effort. There are people like you that who are very blessed to be the face, but also know that it is a whole
Behind the
army
scenes, exactly.
behind the scenes.
Exactly. Exactly. And that's again what I sort of felt too at the Christmas con or this Christmas experience, where it was like the behind the scenes was everybody behind the scenes was just as nice and working just as hard as anybody you saw on stage. They were all absolutely amazing.
Mm.
So with any of your co-stars for that first weekend, you had Tyler. So
Yes.
but was this your first time doing anything in this realm?
Yes. Yeah, it was
Okay.
cr- it was wild. And they told me that on the cruise ship, you know how they did the Hallmark cruise as
Yeah,
well,
I
which
went
I
on it.
love. Oh, was it amazing?
It was amazing. I will say I've been asked which one would I do again.
Sure.
They're both busy in their own ways. And in
Okay.
one, the cruise, it's more about busy in the fact of one thing is way over here and another thing is way
Ah,
over on the other
okay.
side of the cruise.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
I mean the schedule's packed too, but
Yeah.
there is a little bit more downtime than I think that there was this weekend. This was the first year for Kansas that they like a 9 a.m. panel. I'm not a morning girl. And so I was like, why is there a 9 a.m.
We'll
panel?
find out.
I know. Well, I felt, and again, we are all so grateful to be there, but I got the call sheet and it said 4 a.m. hair and makeup. And I was like, I'm sorry, someone's confused here. And they were like, no, that's when we're starting. This is like, no. But yeah, I get it. It's sort of like you can't really say no. Like, what are you gonna
Right.
like?
Yeah.
Such a, like you, first of all, they're incredible at their jobs, like the team that they bring around. And then second of all, it's like, that's our job for the weekend is to just sort of meet wonderful human beings. It's like you're not
Yeah.
going to complain about getting up at this
Right.
time. Yeah.
No, it's always a running joke, but I would have just been like, just keep me up the entire night so I'm
Yeah.
ready at 4
Okay,
a.m.
we'll go the whole way
Oh, an
through. Yeah.
all-nighter. Yes.
But
Yeah.
that's exactly what it feels like. It
Yeah.
feels like for us, we had 50 or 60 McGarrys that we were, like constantly like, what are you doing now? What are you doing now?
Yeah.
And you had somebody to hang out with. Watching you guys all each of those weekends, you're meeting fellow actors that you haven't had the opportunity maybe to meet beforehand. So
Yeah.
you're getting the to know you experiences, you're getting like a summer camp vibe, and that's very much like the cruise too. So it is hard to want to go home because you're in this amazing bubble.
Yes.
Yes.
So
Oh
true.
my gosh. It was like I can't describe it. You can't describe it unless you've been there. And so I know you guys get it. It's like this magical bubble that you don't want to leave. And it's just full of so much goodness. Really.
Hmm.
I hope that more and more people continue to come, which I know that they will. And I hope that, yeah, more people get to experience what we all did because it's magic, really.
It is
Yeah.
sick. Were there any like any specific memories or highlights from Kansas City that you what did
Oh
you
my gosh.
experience during the Hallmark experience? Yes.
Well, I have to say, so for me, like you guys said, this was really my first time meeting the audience at this scale. And so sometimes you can lose track of like it's putting like a face to who's watching it that means it's priceless. And like one of the movies I did was very difficult. The Penguin movie was so
Mm.
hard. And then it was one of the movies that repeatedly people said we really liked that movie. So it just in this wonderful way just made it all worth it. Because yes, what we're not the movies aren't
Right.
hard generally speaking, but that one really was. So it meant the world to meet people that we made the movie for. It means a lot.
Oh, amazing. Would you go again?
Oh my gosh, of course. I have to go. Please. I just am dying to go again. And I want to do the cruise too.
Yes.
I've got like the bug. I have to go.
Yeah. It's
I'll
addicting.
be
And I was
back.
it was kind of like my mom has jokingly said with doing podcasting and then having fan accounts. She goes, you know, you don't work for Hallmark. I go, in my mind I do.
Yeah, well, but that's the thing you do. Like
Right.
all of you, I really mean this. It's like you guys deserve all the credit in the world. You are the reason that this network still exists. Because
Hmm.
some networks do become a little maybe old school and don't keep with the present day. And it's like you guys keeping it alive on social media and in the podcast and talking about it. They should be paying you because it's like it's keeping the whole network alive in a very fresh, exciting way.
Mm.
Oh, well, thank you. We
It
just
was
think it's
Oh,
fun to,
happy
we're
to
so,
do it.
I was going to say, and we're so honored that, you know, you're taking your hour out of your
Right
afternoon
back
to
at
come
you.
and chat with us.
Right
We
back
might
at
keep
you.
you for a whole afternoon.
Oh, I'd be so lucky. I'd love that.
But yeah, no, I think that's the other thing is it's you can't explain not only with the you know the talent that you've met or the behind the scenes camera people that you've met that are all as lovely as they are on camera. And you're in, like you said with Christopher Russell, how is it possible all of
I'm
you
so,
guys
I'm
are that
pleased.
nice? You know?
What is wrong? What is in the water? I don't understand. I really don't. It was like, and then so I'll speak of like Jonathan, who I've obviously been a fan of since Mean Girls, so like 100
Hmm.
years ago. And he was one person where in my head I was like, nah, he's not going to be nice. There's just no way. Nicest person on the planet.
Hmm.
Tyler Hines, the face of Hallmark. I was like, this guy for sure not going to be nice. Lovely. Like, what
Hmm.
is going on? And maybe, I don't know, maybe it's a credit. I'm starting to wonder if it's all very cyclical, where it's like the people that watch the network are really good people. And I feel like that feeds into they can see who's real and who's not. And then that feeds
Hmm.
into who they hire and continue to hire. And it has just created this wonderful bubble of goodness. It's amazing.
Hmm.
Mm.
Yeah. So would you when you were talking about reality for the if there was a way to kind of go into that avenue for you with Hallmark, is that something that you'd be interested in?
Oh my gosh, for sure. Yeah, absolutely. I think that's Finding Mr. Christmas is a brilliant idea.
Hmm.
And I think one of the reasons that it's so good is to obviously because of Jonathan and because he believes in it so much. Like I would even
Hmm.
hear him talking about the show behind the scenes, and he actually really cares and
Oh
is
yeah.
invested in it. And I think that's wonderful. It's like Jeff Probst with Survivor. Like he loves that show. So it does, it feeds that. And so honestly, I really mean this. Anything to do with Hallmark, I just would love to be a part of in any capacity.
Mm. Oh, well, we'd love that. It'd
Thank
be
you.
so neat to see if there's another Mr. Christmas, if you got to
Yes.
be
Oh my God,
the
I would
one that
love
all
Oh
the
yeah.
cast you get to work with. Yeah.
I would love that. Like Hunter King got to do it. Yeah, I would
Hmm.
absolutely love that. Yes.
Yeah, so you have done Signed, Sealed, Delivered,
I
and
did. Yeah.
we yes, we had Charlie. I thought I loved that character. So
Thank
that
you.
needs to come back. Then we
I
had
know.
Nora and Nikki, was it?
Yes, yes, yes.
For so mystery. So what you've had the opportunity to do lots of different things. Kind of what is a niche that you still would like to explore? Hey, maybe we can push Hallmark's button in something.
I would love that. I Listen, I loved Nikki and Nora with Hunter King. That was my favorite I think I've ever done. I would
Mm,
love to go back and do more of that. It is my understanding that Hallmark right now isn't exploring as many of the mysteries. However, there are two scripts for Nikki and Nora that are written and ready to go, so it's hopefully just a matter of time. I would love to do that. I want to work with Tyler again. And I loved Signed, Sealed, Delivered. That was a great job. That was one of the first opportunities I had at Hallmark.
mm,
And I was so very, very appreciative that the creator, Martha, had me back then for the following two, because that was not the
hmm
original plan. As you know, with those movies, there's often a guest star that will do that episode or that,
hmm
movie. And then they don't come back. But Martha, right away, as we were filming it, she was like, something special is happening with Charlie. And if we do more movies, I want you to come back. And we hear so much of that in this industry. So you almost go
hmm
like, oh, thanks. Yeah, thank you so much. I never believed that she would have. So the fact that she brought me back for those next two was an honor, really. I feel very lucky
hmm
to have been a part of that huge, huge show.
Oh.
I our friend, we're really good friends with our roomie does sign seal deliver me a podcast, Casey Simpson.
Oh,
Yeah,
love.
she was our roomie, and so talk about slumber party. We definitely had a slumber party going in in Kansas City,
So
and
cute.
yeah, and we talk about that often. We're like, okay, what's the magic that needs to happen? And of course, I think one of the best benefits of hoping that there's a great possibility of it coming back is Michelle coming back into her role at Hallmark is a huge fan because these
Yes.
things are came under
Yeah.
her development. So
Yes,
fingers are crossed.
exactly. I totally am. I'll cross mine too. Yeah, there's definitely things are afoot over at Hallmark. There's
Hmm
been a lot of, in a good way, like there's been
Right.
just a lot of changing of the guard, so to speak, and things shuffling around, all in good ways. And I think that Hallmark is really going to find a really strong groove again this year, is my feeling. And I hope in good ways, it's going to return to the things that people loved that maybe have gone away. But I also hope that they continue to push the envelope in the way that people want to see it get pushed.
hmm
Oh,
Yeah,
amazing.
you need to be working at the helm too. You got it.
No,
Gotta
That
hire
that
you.
sums it up.
yeah.
Oh, that's the hope, Rhiannon. And just a quick shout out is I finally got to watch the whole series of Signed, Sealed, Delivered this past year.
Oh,
Um,
cute.
and I just fell in love with the show. So I'm
Yeah.
obviously a newer postable, but it just is so fantastic. I mean, I
Yeah.
was laughing, I was crying.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
want more. So
Oh,
thank
it
you
gives me
on that show.
Oh,
I loved it.
no.
Mhm.
Thank you for watching it. That's the thing that's so wonderful. It is something that people not only revisit, but will find later.
Mhm.
And every audience member falls in love with it. I know that during COVID, there was a surgence in viewers because it's really special. There's something about that show that just gives me like a tummy lurch or like goosebumps. It's
Mm,
just really, really, there's something very special about that show. It's a little more emotional, I find. Sometimes I feel like in Hallmark, we like teeter on like, oh, don't make it too sad. And that's totally fair. I know our
mhm.
audiences don't want anything too sad, but I feel like in Signed Sealed, like they kind of like twist the knife a little bit in your heart, which as an audience, it can feel, it's very cathartic. I find that show to be.
Absolutely. Fingers crossed for more.
The feel that I have with it is, I mean, I grew up a family sitting around the computer. We sat around the TV, never mind. With the Hallmark Hall of Fame, and those were like the big things. I mean, I 80s and 90s where you had like the Sarah, what is it, Sarah plain tall and or tall and
Oh,
plain.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, or like the My Lost Valentine, which
Yes.
were, Finding Leia is still one of my ultimate favorites. And those were the
Yeah.
tear jerkers, but those were
Yes.
the things that kind of brought you together to have the
Yes.
conversation. So Well, of course we love the dark and the,
Mhm.
and then the
Of
fun
course.
of having, like that just general rom-com. The heart
Mhm.
is how we all are connected and how you understand
Amen.
people.
Oh,
So
beautiful.
yeah,
Well
I
said.
mean, yeah, I agree with you. Martha does that perfectly with that
Yes,
blend of there's still that whimsical between,
totally.
whether it's Rita's character,
Mhm. Oh,
with
yeah,
Crystal. Oh
yeah,
my gosh. Rita is
yeah.
one of my favorite characters.
An angel. Love, love, love
Yes.
Rita. And I love Jeff too. Jeff is
Yeah.
so funny in that show. Oh,
Yeah.
Hmm. Yeah.
Oh,
So let's talk a little bit about the logistics of the like the Hallmark kisses. And then but before I'm gonna let Brennan cover that one. But before I jump into that one of the things that I'm just curious about is so in the Christmas Cup, you were playing a staff sergeant. And
yes.
so is there something in your realm when you are doing these roles that definitely have more of a layer of it into real life? That you definitely like, does that give you a little bit more of a, I need to portray this in a different way than you would if you, let's just say you're trying to do some mountain climbing? Not that they both aren't
No,
important, but you get
amen.
what I
No,
mean?
very no, you absolutely nailed it. That's exactly what it was like. Because often I'm like a marine biologist or a teacher or something that is feels easy to grasp. It's like, okay, I can just be myself and
Mm-hmm.
play it from an honest place. But this is something that is so sacred that I felt that it was so, so, so important to do whatever research I could. I went through every single line in that script and ran it through ChatGPT, which I know sounds probably lazy or
That's
bad to
how
do
I
that.
do my stuff.
I know. You do that
I
too,
just
girl.
wanted, I
It
just
makes
wanted to
great
make sure.
cartoons.
Oh, well, I wanted to make sure that when we were using like military speak, that it was real, that it was what they said. So I tried my best with that. I also did my research on how they stand, and they stand with their hands clasped behind their back like this, or thumbs folded on the side. I really tried to have the physicality of that in the beginning of the film, and then sort of fade that away as the character sort of changed and came home.
Mm-hmm.
Because yeah, like it's nothing short of sacred, and I think that it is something that should absolutely be dealt with very delicately and respectfully.
You did a wonderful job with that.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yes.
You did.
Yeah.
Well, Rhiannon, I will say it again. I think you and Ben had amazing chemistry in this movie. You guys had an amazing kiss. I will just say
Thank you. I was
it
surprised.
was so good.
Thank
And
you.
I
She
and
made reels.
I
I
did. I
love
mean,
you. Have to send them to me. Can you
I
tag me in them or send them to me? I want to
I
see.
would love to. I would love to. And it was so fun because I will just say it, girl, you always have amazing kisses. Like your
Stop. Thank you. Thank you
kisses
for
and
saying
your
that.
face, they're
I'm
so good. Like
blushing.
they're always just these epic, beautiful
Thank
shots.
you.
Like the camera is circling.
Thank you.
I mean, just you and the
A tough
guy.
job, isn't it?
Yeah, you know what you're doing. So kudos. I mean, really.
Thank you.
And you've gotten to work with some amazing, handsome guys.
Kissers. Yeah.
So what do you think is the secret to a great kiss?
Thank you. Oh my gosh, this is again, I found my people. Thank you for bringing this up. I'm really happy to be here today.
Oh,
Okay,
got you, girl.
I'm going to tell you a story about my kiss with Ben Rosenbaum. It was the most embarrassing thing that's ever happened to me in a kissing scene. So we get to the kiss, and we're running out of time that day because we shot the whole Christmas Cup that day, so all the games and all
Mhm.
everything, and then tacked on the very end was our kiss. So we were completely out of time. Everyone's freaking out, rushing. We've got basically one or two takes to get it. We shoot the kiss. I thought it was fine, and the
Mhm.
director comes up and was like, "That was awful. That was like watching two friends being forced to kiss." And Ben and I were like, "Oh no, like it was that bad." It's like, yeah, it was like basically, it was just, I don't know. I didn't know it was that bad. So in the second take, then Ben and I were like, okay, whatever we did that time, we got to go completely the other way, which we did, which is what made the movie. And what, even when I watched it, I was like, oh, that's a good kiss.
It was
So
really
we
good.
Thank you. And let me tell you, it was really bad the first time, apparently. So thank God. I do think the kisses are really important. I've had this conversation before where, to me, as a rom-com fan, you work so hard for the kiss. They drag it all the way to the end. So give me a little something. Like, I don't want to just see like a long singular peck that goes all the way to the end.
Amen.
We
Yes.
have found our girl. So we have scenes for you after this one to look at.
Yeah. So I think it's important. Even my movie, I did a podcast earlier where they were talking about my scene with Tyler, and in particular
Mhm.
the kissing scene. And that was one too that we both really lent into. And I don't know, like we don't have to do this textbook Hallmark sort of, I don't know. Yeah,
I'm
let's
gonna
give a
flat out
little.
say it. Tyler actually puts tongue into it,
Oh,
and
I
that's
know.
a-okay.
That's
It's worked
A.
for me.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
Yes.
say it.
yeah,
Let's have
I
some
know.
grown-up kisses.
It's
Yes.
for adults. That's the thing. And that was yes, that was the note that the director gave us too. He's like, you're people in your mid 30s. Like, how are you gonna,
Hmm.
and you've spent all these days together, all this time. Like, how do you think you're gonna grab this person and kiss them? Like, kiss them. And that's the
Hmm.
thing too. You can always pull back. So I really hope that moving forward, we'll see more big time kisses in Hallmark. I'd like to see
Oh,
that.
girl, us too. That's what we're
Yeah.
always hoping for.
Me too.
It's our because that I we agree with you because like you said, if you there is a difference between being a timid teenager and having
Oh,
your
yes.
first kiss
Yeah.
versus being an adult who's waited for whatever.
I'll
Yeah.
say this. So when I worked with Tyler, it's something that he pushes for, and I respect it and I think it's right. Like in our movie together, there was like a kiss like a quarter of the way through.
Well, you had
And
like
Hmm.
3 or 4. It was
three or
Hmm.
four
amazing.
kisses. It was my best job. I really had the really good time at work. And but the thing is, we could have seen the audience go, oh, whoa, 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 no, no, that's not what I'm on Hallmark for. And that's okay. We would have gone, okay, we pushed the envelope too far.
Hmm.
We saw the ladder where everyone was like, yes, that was so exciting. We loved it.
Hmm.
So again, we're saying let's with the shift over at Hallmark now. I hope that's something along with the comedy that people are listening to and going, we're all adults watching this network, watching adult actors and characters. Let's
Hmm.
portray that in an honest way. And we're not talking R-rated scenes. We're
Right.
just talking about a kiss. That's all. Let's give the people what they want.
It's just two
Yeah.
people
Yes.
connecting who
Yes.
are falling in love. And
Yes.
what you were saying, I totally agree with the buildup through the whole movie.
Yes.
We
Yeah.
love our Hallmark movies, but I think
Yes.
sometimes
Yes.
the kisses at the very, very end,
Yep.
those sometimes they're so quick. It's
I
like,
Hmm.
oh,
know.
we're at the last scene, kiss. And you're like,
And
that's all
yeah,
we get.
that's what I know. I'm with
Yeah.
you 100%. Yes, yeah, no, 100%. Every movie I do, if there's no reason, like sometimes the characters will have like a boyfriend at the time, or like they've just gotten out of something serious, or they're not in a good place with the opposite character. So it makes sense. There's no kissing going on. But when
Hmm.
there isn't, like my movie with Tyler, it was like just two single people. Like,
Hmm.
why not make the kiss happen earlier if it's not part of the conflict? It then creates, in my opinion, it makes the conflict bigger at the end because these characters have now, they're even
More
closer.
invested.
There's like quote unquote intimacy between them. So now when the bad thing happens, it's more powerful, in my opinion.
Yes, absolutely.
So, well, of course, that was actually one of your first leading roles with Hallmark
Yeah.
was with Tyler, and he is 1000% present.
Agreed.
And I
Agreed.
think that's why we are seeing him come back so much for all of these roles that the demand is there for him
Yeah.
because that is who you're getting in the screen. And then occasionally he gets to throw in the fun bad boy,
Of
quote
course. Of
unquote,
course. Yeah. Yeah.
motorcycle.
Yes.
And so you were so blessed to have that kind of be one of those
Truly.
first big roles for you.
Agreed. So, so blessed. Yeah, he's an angel on earth, really. I just adore Tyler Hines. And I feel so good that everybody that he does, all the support that he gets is so well deserved. He's a really kind person. And I knew that. I've all like in working with him, I knew that. But watching him at the convention and how he treated each and every person was just a mark of what a gentleman he truly is. Like he's a great, great human being.
Did you see there's a documentary coming about him
I
or about the fandom?
saw about the fandom. Isn't that
Yeah.
amazing? It's magic. He's magical. And I think the community that has been created around him is so, so well deserved. And yeah, it's just awesome. Absolutely awesome.
Yes. Well, let's wrap up with some rom-com questions. So what is your go-to rom-com?
I like Silver Linings Playbook, which is like a bit of a question mark of if it's a rom-com. I know it's a little darker, airs more in like the drama sense, but there is rom-com at the heart of it. And that's my favorite.
Okay.
How about you guys? What's your favorite?
While you were sleeping. I could not watch that enough times. And for me, don't I love Sandra Bullock and
I
Bill
love
Pullman
her.
together were
Yeah,
I actually wasn't expecting that magic that they had between the two of them for
right.
some reason. I really wasn't.
Mhm.
I think at that point I also really hadn't looked at Bill Pullman, though he had done rom-coms, I really
Mhm.
hadn't looked at him as a rom-com star. Instead
Totally.
the first thing I always think of is like Independence Day
Of course. Yeah.
because he's the
Yeah.
president in there and stuff like that. But the supporting cast, and that's
Yeah.
what proves too that it's about that story that you're
Totally.
surrounding your
Mhm.
main cast with makes
Yes.
such a difference. And I
Agreed.
love that we're seeing in the Hallmark world too, we're seeing a lot of I we're seeing different people that we haven't seen before as that secondary character too. And
Agreed.
there's a lot of fun to play with now too.
Totally agreed. It should never just be about the two leads. You have to finesse and fill out the supporting roles and make them entire humans that people are interested in watching, not just simply like a mirror for the lead to
Hmm.
bounce ideas off of. Yeah,
Yeah.
I agree. What about you, Brandon?
I the wedding planner is one of mine.
I
With
love the
I
wedding
love the wedding
planner.
planner. I
Oh,
just never forget. I think I was 12 the first time I saw it, and I completely fell in love with Matthew McConaughey,
Hmm.
oh, of course.
of
Yeah.
course. And I also love the holiday.
Hmm.
Love the holiday. That's one that people I think anytime I see that on the TV, I never turn it off. I really like that
Same.
movie.
Hey,
Yeah.
yes.
And for that one was a surprise. Sure, you had Cameron Diaz, who
Mhm.
was she was in her glory at that time, but I think it was like the Jack Blacks of that, like
Oh,
that, or
yes,
that
yes,
other connection with Kate Winslet and
yeah.
the one who was the writer of Hollywood movies and getting his like that's not the rom-com part, but that made
Yeah.
her accept that new relationship. It all comes
Totally.
together.
Totally. Yeah, to circle back to something you did ask, that's something I would love to do in Hallmark is like have in the same story, have like two whole parts. Go so much like the holiday. I would love to see Hallmark do a spin on something like that. Or even something, yeah, I just want to see multiple. It just sometimes like we're talking about this, it's a little centric on the one and two. Let's have two entire couples and have them exist throughout the whole film. I would love to see that.
Do you think that there's enough storytelling time in an 80-minute movie or whatever it ends up
That's
becoming
a
in that aspect?
really good question. And I think that comes to trusting the audience. First of all, you have to
Mhm.
write a good script. So that exists. But then I think it's so important to trust your audience. Like sometimes it feels like, and it's not just in Hallmark movies. I just watched a clip about, I think it was like Ben Affleck talking about it happening on Netflix, where the assumption now is that the audience isn't paying attention. So you have to repeat the same thing over and over and over again. I don't want to keep doing that. Let's trust our audience, assume that they're not looking at their phone, and just say the one point once. We don't need to hit it over the head 5,000 times. The audience is going to be with us.
Well, and
Mhm.
that's also why they're looking at their phones is
Yes,
because
because you're boring me. You just said it 10 times. You're right. Yes.
exactly
Yes. Thank you.
Right,
Thank you.
right. Or this just feels, we can tell when something
familiar.
isn't too familiar or when it just
Yep.
kind of feels fakey. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Now okay, now I've got tons of ideas. All right, so who do we just give our ideas to? We just write them in a notebook.
They're watching.
Make
They're
them happen.
watching. Yeah.
So Rhiannon, do you have a favorite Hallmark, trope that you like to play in your movies? Or that you enjoy watching, or both?
Totally. There's so many. And I do think that they're timeless for a reason. Um, I think I just love the meet cute when it's done well. Like, and it can be done, and I've done it personally where it's done really badly.
Mm.
So when they're done well, and I love it when there's physical comedy in the meet cute. Of course I do. And yeah, when it's like the OG rom-coms where I want to see the girl like slip on a banana peel and land in his arms. Like that's what I want to see. That's my favorite trope when done well.
Yes.
What about
I
you guys? What's your favorite?
Well, I'm a sucker for friends to lovers. There's just something about it when I see my friends who are with their best friend. And that to me, that's how it should be.
I agree.
You know what story, and I'm going to put this in, what story I would love to see Hallmark bring back more, and they are
Yeah.
thankfully, is older first time loves, because
Yeah.
we always highlight the second time love. And there
Right.
are people who's have full lives beforehand, and now that they chose to wait or whatever the purpose is, or that's how life worked for them. So I'm really excited. It seems like Allison Sweeney's
Yes.
newest one with
Yeah.
for February. I don't exactly know
Yeah.
what the storyline is, but I'm
Yeah.
really glad to see like some more of those directions for
I
Hallmark.
totally agree. It's very interesting you just brought that up because I will speak on my movie, He Loves Me Not. And like I said, I made that movie with my ex-boyfriend. We were each other's first love. So that was something of like then coming back together. We talked a lot about that. Like how fundamentally shaping a person's first love is, whether it happens at 19 or 35 or whenever it is. The story of your first love is so important. And
Mm-hmm.
you're right. I think back on all the movies I've done, they literally spend so much time on the dialogue about the other person that they loved once. Like, maybe let's not talk about that and let's share the story of that, like, oh, I haven't been in love. I don't know. I don't know what that
I
feels like.
waited for, what's wrong with like for like you said, I waited. Or
Exactly.
the other thing too that really needs to come in is I didn't know this is what I wanted,
Wow.
because there
I
are
agree.
so many things that happen in our lives that you don't know till God's placed it there, because
Exactly.
you're
Yeah,
for whatever purpose you're like, it's never going to happen to
I
me,
know.
and
I'm
so I'm
with
not
you.
going to hope.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so lovely. Very well said.
All
What
right,
about you, Brandon? Wait, I want to know your trope, Brandon. What do you like?
Oh, my trope. I'm just a fan of them all. Really, I mean,
That's
really,
fair.
I don't know if this is a trope. Like, I grew up, like, my favorite movie, still one of my favorites. Like, I watched Cinderella all day, every day when I was a kid.
Oh,
Love,
So I
love, love.
just fell in love with just the Prince Charming,
Yes.
and just the Prince Charming coming in and
Yes.
rescue, and
Yes.
just sweeping the girl off of her
Yeah.
feet. And
Yeah.
I've always been a
Yeah.
fan of that.
Thank you for saying that. So I know it's a different network, but
hmm.
we won't say anymore. But I do
Well, we're talking rom-coms in
we're
general.
talking rom-coms. Okay, okay. So I do for GAC, I do the royal movies. So I did
Hmm.
Royal in Paradise, which then turned into Royal Proposal. And I can't say too much. We might be going back to do a third. And that's the point, is that there is still room for the Prince story. And for me, like when people ask what was one of my favorite moments to ever shoot, and it was being in like a princess ball gown. And it sounds silly, but it fulfilled something in like little Rhiannon. Is like wearing a princess ball gown and coming down the stairs to meet a prince. We
Hmm.
still love that story. And you can do the 2025 version of it where she doesn't need to be rescued, but it's also kind of nice. So
No,
I'm with you. I love the prince and princess. Yes.
1000%. And what that also allows for you, that has come up a lot in conversation, is that you, like we said, the kiss
Mhm.
and then you're done. But there
Yeah.
is more to, and and you might need to be rescued in a different way after you're married. Just because he rescued you
Yes.
from the evil stepmom over here doesn't mean there's not going to be something new coming up.
It's life, babe. Exactly
Yeah.
100%. That's how I felt. And that's how I felt going into that sequel. I was like, but everything was so fine in the end. Why would anything be wrong? And it was like, oh yeah, because life. Life is
Hmm.
very difficult. And I think that there's something that the audience appreciates in seeing that is that it's not when you get to go back and do a sequel, it's like, oh, it wasn't everything wasn't wrapped up in a bow as we thought it was. Stuff can still come up, and it feels very human when those characters go through that.
So our last question, and then I'm gonna ask you and Brennan some trivia on your movies.
Oh
I just
no.
have a few of them.
Fun.
But okay, so you have worked with a bunch of amazing Hallmark and GAF
Yes.
stars. So
Yes.
who is on your wish list that you would still love to? I mean, everybody.
No, no, my gosh, yes, yeah. Besides everybody, like we talked about, I'd love to do with I want to work with some girlies, is what I'd
Hmm.
love to do. And I think that there is room for that at Hallmark, a little
Hmm.
bit more of just female centric focusing. Like with, I know the females are the lead in all of them in theory, but I mean, I want like groomsmen, I want wise men, I want three
Hmm.
girls t running the whole thing. I would love. And I would actually, oh, I really want to work with Paul Campbell. And I never knew I would have liked him so much. But when we did the Christmas experience, he's so funny and really, really kind. That he became top of my bucket list of would love to work opposite.
I agree with you. I never thought that like that comedic part would be it, which is ironic when he's writing comedy, but there was
Right?
something I was like, I think he's I hate to say it this way, but we all grow. I think he's
Yeah.
just finally being his true self in front of people
He's
that I
got the
think he's
thing.
been afraid to
Yep.
share because you're always trying to be one different person or whatever.
Isn't that fascinating? And I appreciate that entirely. Yeah, I could really, he's one of the perfect examples of like who you were seeing on stage was who he was behind the
Hmm.
scenes. Yeah, he's the real deal. So it feels nice that maybe other people are recognizing that and being like, yeah, that's the real deal kind of guy.
And I
Yeah.
would say that those three wise men ones definitely working with the guys like that for him being now besties with
I know.
Tyler and
Yeah,
Andrew was kind of
yeah,
probably that door that opened it up for him. So how about
absolutely. And then
community?
yeah, yeah, yeah. Awesome.
Yeah.
And that's what's so special about, Kansas City and the Hallmark experience is you as actors, you get to
Yeah.
just be yourself. You're
Hmm.
not playing a part. You get to just be
No.
yourself. And for us,
Exactly.
it truly is, it makes us love you that much more. I mean, we love you
No,
on
I get
Yeah.
stage,
it.
but
Because I same for me. Yes.
Hmm.
Yeah.
getting to see you all just be
Yeah.
yourself, getting to know you all
Yeah.
more, we
Yeah.
walk away like, well, we love them 100 times more. It's
Yeah.
just
Yes, I agree. It makes people human. Absolutely. And then I had moments too when I was doing it. Like you look at Andrew Walker, who's like Hallmark star. He's like the hot guy, aside from Tyler. He's like the hot guy
Right.
on Hallmark. And then I would see him in like a giant inflatable reindeer suit. And it was like, you're just like a theater nerd. And I love it. It just rips away any stigma of it being like a movie star to just like, you're just a human guy that's
Yep.
really, really down to earth. It's wonderful.
yes, it is.
Oh,
Just
makes my
we
heart
love
so happy that you guys
Me
get
too.
that you guys also get starstruck.
Exactly. Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Okay, so Clayton James was your co-star in what movie? Would you like options?
I know it.
Okay,
Oh,
see,
you know it. Oh, girl, you
well,
got
okay, I'm doing phone a friend for you and Brennan. So Brennan, the
Okay.
choices are the Christmas Retreat, the Christmas Lodge, or the Christmas Unexpected.
Oh,
So
goodness.
since she knows
This
it,
wasn't Hallmark either, so no pressure. And this was like 100 years ago. No pressure.
Oh,
we watch all stations.
we do.
Same.
We
Yeah.
do. The last one?
What was it, Rihanna?
The Christmas retreat.
The Christmas entry.
But in
Yay!
all fairness, my next question is what was this movie originally called? So you could probably have had any option of the above.
Truly anyone. Yep, yep, that's really fair.
So
Yep,
Team
yeah,
so Team Bride with another favorite of ours, Marcus
yes.
Rosner, who was also the
Love
kindest
Rosner.
human on earth,
Isn't he lovely? Yeah, lovely human.
was originally called A Vintage Bride or Always a Bridesmaid, Never a Bride.
I know this one too,
Oh,
obviously.
was it
I think you'll know it, Brennan.
was it always?
No,
Oh,
but I kind of did get you with that one with Team Bride because
That it's okay.
Okay, so that one was originally called a Vintage Bride, and can you why was that called a Vintage Bride originally? Do you know?
Yeah, she took it was actually a pretty sweet story. I quite liked that one. And it was produced by Marcus Rosner. And they were
Hmm.
at the time they were making a bunch of movies they were trying to bring more of the industry to Edmonton. So I loved making that movie with Rosner. I would love to work with him again. Lovely guy. His wife was also a part of producing it. She worked in wardrobe. Yeah, just a wonderful experience. Yeah, the character, she like recycled wedding dresses. And so yeah, she took on that it would become a vintage dress at that point.
Yes. I was like, I knew it had, and it's been a while since I've seen it, but I knew it had something to do with with like sewing or the
Upside.
cloth
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
or
yeah,
that, yeah.
yeah,
Eh,
yeah.
or did she actually run a bridal?
She did that too. She worked at a bridal store, but like behind the scenes, her like under the table job was
Okay.
upcycling dresses.
But sometimes you do have to wonder because the original name is, well, that one is still
Yeah.
the same. But Teen Bride
Yep.
is just such an interesting title name of a movie that a Vintage Bride kind of seems.
I
I get
agree.
why they would change it, but why Teen Bride?
Why? 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 Yeah.
It was a cute movie. I do remember that one. I just couldn't remember the
Yeah.
specifics
Fair,
on
fair,
her.
totally fair.
So in When Love Springs was written by, do you know who wrote it? Uh, our choices are Ainsley Gordon, Kara Russell, or Riley Weston.
I have no idea. Ainsley?
She did.
Ah.
Yep. We just had her on right before the end of holiday break. She's another one who we're making our own little people of all Hallmark After Dark groups that we can call on and say,
I
all right,
love that. I love it.
she's on board with us too.
Love.
And you're gonna know this one because we just talked about it. So, Brennan, what was her character's name in a Royal in Paradise series? Your choices are Emily, Abby, or Olivia.
Sneaky. I've played all three. Good job.
I can't make them too easy.
Yeah.
Oh, were you Emily in this one? Gosh, I should know. I'm
You
sorry.
shouldn't. Well, they also all sound the same, so
Yeah.
it's not on you.
They sound very royal.
All right, Rihanna, you can give her a hint or the
Okay,
answer.
I was Emily in Costa Rica.
That's what it was. Yes.
Yep,
Okay.
was the most
That,
recent one. That's probably why that's in your head.
Yeah.
yes.
I was Abby in Journey of My Heart, and then Olivia, right? I think that's right.
Yep.
And then Olivia in The Royal.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
They're not that scary, but literally when I would message people or we do this, they're white. So I finally told Brennan, I go, you know what? I'm gonna ask both of you guys so
That's
that one
cute.
can help the other.
Cute.
And then, it's still, it's fun because we all are learning something every day. That's what I
Exactly.
told we had when Marcus was on, I had him on the game night. He did say, he goes, fun fact, this was that, this was that. I said, see, we all learn something new every night.
Exactly. Oh, that's so lovely. Bless him.
Well, thank you so much for
Thank
spending this
you.
time with me, or us,
You guys,
me.
no, it's all right.
Sorry, Brennan.
You guys are amazing. Really. Thank you
Oh,
so,
fun.
so much. It was just an absolute pleasure talking to you both. Thank you.
Us too. We love you,
Oh.
girl. Truly. Can't
Love
wait to
you.
see
Love
all
you.
the
Love you. And I hope we get to meet in person. And always, if not, we always have this. So please keep in touch.